Dear friends, welcome back. Welcome back to Alpha Physio Pelvic Care. If you don't know me, if you see this video for the first time, my name is Anastasia Ovarova and I'm pelvic floor physiotherapist practicing here in sunny Cyprus. In this channel, I'm giving you all the tips and tricks and advice that I also give to my clients in online and face-to-face consultation. So if you have a specific questions, if you would like to look at them on individual level, I do also do consultations online and you can check the application form in the description below. If you continue to watch my channel, I will be very grateful if you hit that subscribe button. And if you really enjoy this video, if you find this useful, make sure you share it with your friends, with your new moms, and you will see in a minute why. And also don't forget to drop a like for this video. And without any hesitation, let's get down to it. Today, this video is for moms who underwent cesarean section. It might be also useful for someone who had another similarly to C-section abdominal operation. Maybe it was hysterectomy, maybe removal of the large cyst, and it required a similar incision of a cesarean section. But the main, let's say, target audience for this video today is moms who underwent C-section. And the most difficult part of the whole thing is moms usually don't know where to start. And I see that after having a cesarean, what happens is the mothers, they usually wait for a really long stretch of time, and then they kind of are given the green light, okay, by the doctor, and then they immediately jump into their exercise routine, which can be a setback for them because of pain, because of core weakness, because pelvic floor overstretch from the whole pregnancy. So there is no in between. Therefore today I made this video to show you 4 really important exercises, and these will be your very first exercises after cesarean section. But before we start, let me give you a small disclaimer. When I see people on an individual level, I can usually assess their readiness for certain exercises. However, because this is a video and a lot of people will see it, let's put the mark of 6 weeks after cesarean section. This is usually when you would see your doctor and they would check your stitches and give you kind of a clear of healing process. Maybe you would do your pap test as well by that time. And also 6 weeks is also the time where the physiology has kicked in and the scar is well formed, considering that there's of course haven't been any complications. So let's give it a 6 weeks mark to be on the safe side. And after 6 weeks, the 6 weeks plus, you can start to do these 4 exercises. Also, I would like to highlight that these exercises is not the difficult stuff, something that while we're getting back to our abdominals, we're getting back straight to our six-pack, we're getting back to fitness. No, these are exercises, first of all, to reduce the pain and the swelling around the C-section, to improve the mobility around the scar. I have a whole set of videos on a scar massage and indirect C-section scar work. You can check them out. We are creating body-brain connection, awareness, finding our core, finding the correct breathing. So slowly starting to get ourselves into specific routine, because these exercises will take you maybe 10-15 minutes, and therefore you already will be establishing routine that later on you can layer off other more progressive exercises. So for these ones we will need only a mat and maybe a head pillow. Also, I would like to advise that if you can, these exercises, it's better to be done on the floor, on a harder surface. If it's still really difficult for you to get down on the floor and you are in pain, you can try to do these exercises, but I would then advise you to address mainly the source of the pain and to check with your doctor, because by 6 weeks usually there shouldn't be any major pains, not continuous pain in any case. Some little ache here and there may happen around the scar, but at 6 weeks, usually if healing is going fine, you should be relatively pain-free. Our first exercise will be a heel slide, and now my feet is on the mat, so there will be a bit of a drag. Otherwise, you can actually move the mat slightly and make sure that your feet is on the floor, and use a towel, and it will be much easier. So here we are going to, first of all, lay down comfortable, and we will do one leg at a time. I would not advise you to put a towel under another leg because you need the non-toweled leg to stabilize yourself. We will take nice, slow, deep breath in into our sides here. And also do allow your belly to expand here. So it's something in between of side breathing and belly breathing. We will do the belly breathing in a bit as well, but let's focus here on the breathing into your side. So starting to work your diaphragm, and for this I also have a separate video. It's called 360 degrees breathing. So we place our hands here on the sides, and we take nice slow breath in into our sides, counting till 4. And you might find it quite difficult to do it for 4 seconds. After the pregnancy and C-section birth, it might be quite difficult to make such a long, deep breath. And as you start to breathe out, you slowly start to slide your heel and gently engage. So as you breathe, you will feel some engagement of the abdominal area. Okay, this area has to come slightly together in order to stabilize your spine. Because if it won't, what will happen is you just simply will slide off, you will go into arch, and there is no control. So what we want to do, we want to have that control. So we, again, once more, we breathe in. And as you breathe out, you gently engage your pelvic floor. So you do like a small, gentle Kegel lift. Okay, from Kegel lift. If you don't know what is Kegels, I have a video on that as well. So you slide until you breathe out. And as you breathe in, you slide back. You don't have to get your leg perfectly straight. That's not necessary. As soon as you have that small movement and control. If you're completely confused and you're not sure what is this thing about Kegel, what I'm doing, I'm going to give you a couple of more cues that might kick the area to engage. So one cue could be imagine, don't try, but imagine that you're trying to stop the pee, all right? You're squeezing down there in order to stop the pee. So this would be your Kegel, and you try to gently to sustain it without doing massive squeeze. Gentle, 30% squeeze. One more. Stopping the pee. Breathe in. And breathe out. Or if you ever use tampons, you can also imagine that there is a tampon that is about to fall out of your vagina and you really want to pull it in with those muscles. This is another cue that I give to my clients, and sometimes it works. And you repeat this exercise about 8-10 times and make sure you do it on both sides. You might feel different each side. You might feel that one might be a bit too weak, which is fine. You still try to do it and make sure your ribs are not popping up here. You can even place your hands here and you're breathing into your hands, and then you breathe out, engage. So this exercise really starts engaging your pelvic floor, your deep abdominal, start working your diaphragm, because the deeper and longer is the breath, the more diaphragm has to expand and contract. Okay, it needs to work actually. And also this breathing action helps the area around your abdominals where you also had C-section to clear out from any extra fluids, because there will be a lot of, a bit of stuck lymphatic fluid going on. So with the breathing and movement, it will start to clear it out. Plus you will start to feel your deep abdominals, which will be layered on later with more difficult exercise. Usually when I teach my clients to do their pelvic floor engagement, I give emphasis on the diaphragm, because in fact there is no lungs in your belly, so you just actively expand and blow up your belly. you're just expanding your muscles as you breathe in. And also we want the diaphragm to work together because it moves together with the pelvic floor. So when you breathe in, diaphragm drops, pelvic floor drops. When you breathe out, diaphragm goes up, pelvic floor goes up. So they work together. Here we will do belly breathing for one particular reason. We will use this action of belly breathing as a self-massage for the scar. Onto hands and knees, and most of the times mom will have a belly that is kind of still there, which is absolutely normal, 6 weeks post C-section. And what I want you to do is I want you to let the belly hang, like, whoa, let it just drop, relax, no control. You're staying here with your hands and knees, arms and legs parallel, and here I want you first to pay attention to what your back is doing. So I don't want you to go into the arch. Have it nice and neutral, like a tabletop. Let the belly hang. And if you need, once or twice, you can actually use your hand. All right, place it here. And the reason why I'm in this position is, first of all, to give you a gravity kick. All right, so against the gravity here. Plus, just to change the body's position, because we don't want to be laying down all the time. We function in different positions. So breathing in, and this time we almost breathe into the belly. Yeah, let it expand. And of course in our lungs, but we also focus on blowing up and expanding the belly. And as you breathe out, you draw the belly gently, gently. In towards your spine. Plus you still do your Kegel. All right, I would say then focus on the Kegel more, and then the belly will come along. One more time. I'm letting my belly drop here. Arms and legs parallel, back straight. I'm taking breath in. I'm expanding my lungs, I'm expanding my belly, and then I start gently to squeeze the imaginary tampon, let's say. I almost blow through my teeth, okay? So to make it a little bit slower, so I have time for the action of engagement. So if you see my belly going like big, it goes in, big, in. This provides great pumping action, a self-massage action, especially to all the lymphatic system as well, that is concentrated a lot around your pelvis, and also it's the mobility of the muscles and the fascia that has been affected during the stitching process. We want to loosen it up. We want to open up the area. Okay, so a couple more times. Breathing in into the belly. Breathing out. Drawing in, drawing in, drawing in, drawing in. Or imagine that you're blowing 100 candles, nice and slow. Breathe in. The most important thing, you should feel that action or movement of belly going up and down. If you feel that action, you're doing it great. And you repeat it for about 10-12 times, or as many as you can in the beginning. Sometimes it's just 3-4 times. This exercise, you can also do it in the bed as soon as it's not very soft, it's a bit firmish, so you're quite steady on it. Otherwise, yeah, it is possible to do on the bed. And let's move on the third exercise. I'm here on my side, and exercise number 3. You can use your hand, or you can just put a pillow and remove your hand, whichever you prefer. Here, when we do normal exercises, generally Pilates, recovery and stuff, I always say to my clients to keep the gap, to keep the neutral. In this particular instance, we will start with the gap closed, and you will see in a moment why. Okay, we will start completely dropped down, and the same belly relaxed thing that we did when we were in a 4-point kneeling. So completely relaxed belly, dropped everything just in a chill out mode. And then we take nice breath in, long into our lungs. Remember, 3-4 seconds. As you breathe out, you start to do the imaginary tampon engagement. So you gentle Kegel, gentle, and you open that gap, and you open it to the maximum possible. And you will see, I will explain to you in a second why. Let's try again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Why I'm so insistent on the long breath out? Because sometimes right towards the end, you can get the proper engagement, right? If you go like, you're not there yet. But when you do it really long, you really can get, now I got the pelvic floor in. Now I feel my tummy waking it up, okay? And we have a gap here. And then breathe in. Everything really slow. We want our lymphatic, our blood flow system going. We don't want only the actual exercise, which we also want, but also the rest of the systems, the nervous system to relax. Breathing in, breathing out. Also, with this motion, up and down, you mobilize indirectly the C-section scar and also the organs all around, because sometimes you can form some keloids, scar tissues, maybe a bit of adhesions. You can help with this kind of motion to mobilize. Of course, we do this exercise on the other side as well. So both of these, both sides needs to be done. All right, 10 to 8 times. Let's get on our fourth exercise. Our fourth exercise will be done in a lotus position, and you can actually use the pillow under your bottom to make it more comfortable. And the point here is to stretch this front part here, but supported, okay? We're not yet gonna go into huge stretches. We can start them a little bit later, into more of the 8 weeks. But right now, we really want to open up the area, but in a supported way. So we're sitting here, and we will use for that purpose one hand at a time. Reaching back with your right hand. As you can see, it's not very far, so it's not that difficult to do. And you're going to breathe in. Okay, you breathe in. And as you breathe out, we still remember our pelvic floor engagement. And abdominal engagement. Breathing in. And out. Now, if you feel comfortable enough, you can do one by one. So you can breathe in. Breathe out. Time for engagement. Breathe in. Why I'm doing stretch with the breath in? When you breathe in, your ribs and your abdominal wall expands even more, so it gives us a little more stretch on top of the stretch we're already doing. Okay, this is why breath in, breathe out, return, engage. Repeat this exercise again 8 to 10 times. It will be much easier if you would go and start doing something going back. This can be a bit of a strain, but if you go back and you're supported on one hand, you can also give it one-sided stretch, and then you give another sided stretch, and you are much more comfortable and you have much better control. And I know I promised you 4. The 5th one is not exactly the stretch or exercise, it's just a position that we will try. And the reason why we will do it again is to use the surface as a resistance in order to do self-massage. So something that all the moms tell me that they're missing when they're pregnant, which is going onto your front, okay, onto your tummy. So you go onto your tummy, you lay down here. I hope I'm fitting into the frame. Okay, and what you do is you just nice and relaxed here, and you breathe with your belly into the surface, and then as you breathe out, you let the air escape and your belly go back in away from the surface. So you use the surface as a resistance tool Let's call it like that. Okay, we're going to breathe in into the belly, breathe out, and belly goes in. So you can do it on everyday basis, 6, 7, 8 breaths, and that's it. And it will give you this pumping action, all right? And because you will be laying on the surface, this is why on the belly exercise is best to do on the floor, but it can be done on relatively firm bed. If you are comfortable laying down, which after 6 weeks usually should be okay. But again, you know, check in with yourself and how your body feels. And this will give you kind of a no-touch self-massage techniques, if I shall say. I think that was it. That is plenty for the beginning. We don't want to overdo it because it's always easier to underdo it and then slowly add more than overdo it, and then you get a setback, and then there is a pain, and there is the ache and diastasis recti and leaks, and you're not sure what you're doing. So it's much easier to layer on slowly with your exercises. You can do these exercises for first week, even first 2 weeks, before you're ready to progress, preferably under the guidance. If you do need individual advice and guidance, I do it a lot. I do consult moms after cesarean sections all over the world online, so we can always give you individual program based on your circumstances, time available, equipment you have, and all the possible variabilities you might have. If you enjoyed this video, guys, I would really appreciate if you drop me a like. Let me know in the comments if you try these exercises. And thank you for watching. We will see you back very, very soon. Take care.